What's up, everybody? Chewy Internet coming at you today with another Marvel Crisis Protocol video. And this time, we're going to do the Apocalypse video that I said I was going to do, but I've been so busy with life and everything, guys. I just recently sold my house, and I'm moving into a new home starting beginning of next month. So that's going to be really exciting. So I've been so busy doing that and just working and all that other kind of stuff. But I'm back. I got some time right now that I can spare to talk about Apocalypse. And good old AMG, they went out ahead and put up the affiliation list and this character's backside. So now we can talk about him a little bit further. We can go into a little bit of a deep dive on how I feel about Apocalypse overall. But if you guys can't do me a favor, like, dislike, comment, and subscribe, y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Y'all know that's the goal. If you guys do that, I really would appreciate it. Also, oh my God, the Threat 3 tier list has reached over 1,000 views, guys. So shout outs to you guys watching them videos, man, and getting over to 1,000 views, man. That's really exciting. It's my first video to ever go over 1,000. So that's cool, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the content. All right. So let's get into Apocalypse, right? First of all, let's not talk. So we're gonna get back to the character page here in a second. What I want to talk about here is overall how I feel about Apocalypse in general. Um, I feel like this is probably one of the more complicated affiliations that have ever hit MCP. Honestly, seriously, I think that there is a lot of growth here, and I think there's a lot of. It's not it's not an affiliation that you could just pick up and just do well with right out the gate. I think that this affiliation is going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of thinking, and who gets to become famine, who becomes war, who becomes um, death, pestilence, all that other kind of stuff. Who is the best character? Who are the best characters that can play these roles and do the things I want them to do? Um, and Apocalypse is a sixth threat, so he's pretty expensive. You have to fit the characters inside those threat levels, because you have from 15 to 20 in this game. So you have to figure out, okay, who's the best at 15, who's the best at 16, who's the best at 17, etc. Right? So you got to figure that out with Apocalypse being so expensive. With immediately I think a 15 threat. Um, does Apocalypse do well in Research Station if you're just playing a single affiliation with Apocalypse? We don't know that yet, right? But in my head, I think right now one of the best 15 threats is probably the Cabal list that's been running around, which is Thanos, Red Skull, I think Zemo or something like that. I think that's what the list is. If I got that wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. But I think that's one of the best 15 threats in the game, especially on Research Station. And do you have that kind of firepower? Asgard is an honorable mention too. And Asgard can play a really good 15 too. Um, so you really got to think about it. And the affiliation is not easy, right? This isn't. There's a lot of text going on here, and we're just going to go through this for a second. Okay, let's just read the Master of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse first. Once per turn during his activation, Apocalypse may use may use one of the superpowers on any Horseman card. So he can use any Horseman ability at any point in time during his activation. Okay, only once per turn, and he can use famine, he can use war, he can use death, he can use pestilence. Right. One of the and that's really interesting and that's really cool, right? So that's the first step. Like, which one are you going to use effectively, and how are you going to apply that, and all other kind of stuff. When Apocalypse is KO'd, this card is removed. During the power phase, this character gains one evolution token. So you're gaining evolution tokens per power phase. So you have a maximum of 6 that you can gain, right? So, and there are other ways to gain evolution tokens with the other horsemen. To me, this is going to be a nightmare to bookkeep for my opponents, right? Like, are they doing the evolution tokens properly? Like, are they following the rules? Or, you know what I mean? Because one thing I don't want to do is accuse people of, cheating or anything like that. I'm pretty sure people aren't cheating or whatever. But, bookkeeping people is a skill that you have to do in this game because you have to make sure your opponent's being honest with his power, with his damage counters, all of that kind of stuff. People have different. People have dies, they have tokens, they have markers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really keep in touch with what's going on here. And from my perspective, playing against an Apocalypse player, it's going to be a nightmare. Playing as Apocalypse and remembering this, it's going to take a little bit of practice, right? It's going to take some time because this is easily forgettable, okay? There's a huge card that you're going to be putting to your side here. You have to remember that entire text, and you have to be like, okay, I get evolution tokens per power phase. Okay, cool, whatever. So the other thing that you can do is you can use evolution tokens to do rerolls. So That's another layer to it, right? So now you're adding evolution tokens. Now you can use them for rerolls, and also you can use them for power cost on the superpower abilities that you have on the Horseman, the Famine War cards, right? So you can have a situation where you can spend 1 power and 1 evolution token to do an ability, right? Because most of these cost about 2. I don't think there's one that costs 3. Yeah, Death costs 3. But most of these cost 2, right? So you can go turn 1, use a power, use evolution token, and use an ability and do whatever the Horseman card is doing, right? One of the most popular things that we can do in this game right now with Apocalypse turn 1 is that there is like a space gem that the Horsemen have. It's this one right here. It's for Famine, right? Choose up to one of the enemy characters within 2 of this character. If the enemy character is chosen this way, it loses a power, okay? Place this character within 2 of its current position. The super can only use once per turn. Now, why is that really effective? Well, like I said, think about Thanos and think about him doing the Space Gem or Cosmic Portal, whatever. That just puts a lot of characters into position to do a lot of crazy things. Now, think of Apocalypse being on a 65mm base and moving him forward within 2 on turn 1. He's basically hitting everybody on the midline, right? And that's very, very, very scary because he's just, I mean, he can hit hard, right? He's got 7 dice. He can make it physical, energy, or mystic. He's got a wild condition for a root that he can put on you. And if you have root on you or whatever the case may be, you can do a throw. So that's a very strong opening for Apocalypse, right? Or any other character. If you don't want to do with Apocalypse, you can, whoever's playing Famine, which we're going to find out here in a minute, who can all play what, they can put them in a position to succeed, right? So, that's another thing, right? So there's a lot of layers to this. There's a lot of bookkeeping that you're going to have to be doing to make sure you're up to date with all your evolution tokens or whatever. What I'm saying is that with all this combined, right, there's going to be a lot of error. And I think when Apocalypse first comes out, I think for the first, I would say maybe 4 to 5 months. Let's give it 4 to 5 months, right? I would say on the 6th month, people are going to start figuring this out and playing it well and be consistent with it. Or people are just going to fall off with it because it's so much to handle, right? You can just play other affiliations and succeed, but with this, you might not see as much success because there's so much going on, right? And people are going to fumble it just like anything, right? And people are going to be successful with it. And I think those people that are going to be successful with it are going to be ones that put in the work and take their time and understanding how everything works. Because there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that you need to put together and try to do it as efficiently as possible, right? So that's my overview overall of like Apocalypse, how I feel about him and his leadership, right? I think he's a really good character. I don't think he's going to see a lot of splashability at all, or if any. I think he's self-contained in the Horseman thing. I could be wrong on that. Maybe other people can go and splash him and change my mind on it. But personally, I think he's more contained with the Horseman. I think he wants to play with the Horseman, right? So right now, right out the gate, I'll tell you right now, now let's get to the Horseman cards. Famine is fantastic. This is a teleport that you can do. So Famine, you gain an evolution token. If there are no non-dazed enemy characters within 3 of it, you gain an evolution token, right? So that's really cool, right? So all you have to do is not be within 3 of a character. So I can see a situation if you give a character Famine, maybe you activate him first turn 1, bring him up, right? Pick up an extract or set on a secure. No one's within 3 of you. You just gain an evolution token. So now you go to 2, right? And now that makes Apocalypse a little more efficient, right? Because now Apocalypse can spend those 2 Evo tokens, right? And then teleport up and do his thing. Instead of spending a power than that, now he can, do that instead. So that's really cool. I love Famine. I think it's absolutely fantastic. War, 2 power costs. During the next attack made by this character, if the target character is within 2, this character may change 1 die result to a hit, crit, or wild in the attack roll. This is really strong. This is really good. There's a situation where, okay, maybe you save the 2 evolution tokens for this, and you want to do some damage, right? Because we're going to get to the condition of how you can gain an Evo token from this. The first time each turn this character suffers damage from an enemy effect, and the first time each turn this character deals damage, after the effect is resolved, Master of the Horseman gains 1 evolution token. So there could be a world where, okay, you move up, you do an attack, and you spend the 2 Evo tokens to use this to maybe just do a damage, right? Maybe you just need that extra hit to do the 1 damage. Well, if you do the 1 damage, you get the Evo token back. Now, you have 1 Evo token on the card, and you can use 1 power and 1 Evo token to teleport up Apocalypse, right? You're starting to see how this is starting to come together, right? So this is really cool. I love War. I love Fame. I think they're really good. We're going to get to the affiliation list here in a second. Death. I think this is probably one of the weakest ones, but by default, because the other 3 are so good. During the next attack this character makes, during this turn, add 1 die to the attack roll for each damage the character has to a maximum of 3. The super arc once per turn. This is similar to Sabretooth, right? Sabretooth has the whole whatever, you gain 3 dice when you have damage on you. That's all this is. Now, where this gets nutty is, let's get to this. Once per turn, when another character is dazed or KO'd by this character, or this character is dazed or KO'd. So it's either way, right? So if you're dazed or KO'd, or you do the KO or dazing, you gain 3 Evo tokens. This is the most you can gain from the Horsemen affiliation for Evo tokens, right? And this is, okay, a very gambly thing, right? You're going in, you're trying to get the kill, or you don't get the kill, and you're hoping your opponent goes and dazes you, because then you gain the 3 evolution tokens, and then you can go and do whatever you want, right? So this is really cool if it can ever work, right? So you're putting this on your aggro characters, the characters that can output damage, and the characters that can get the job done really quickly. And I think with this one, you're going to want to target squishies, right? And again, if you can get this turn 1, think about it, right? Think about everything. You get this turn 1, you gain 3 Evo tokens, and then think about what that can do for the rest of your affiliation turn 1, if you can get it. Pestilence. Consuming Blight. For each enemy character within 2, choose one of the following effects. They gain slow. If the character has the poison root or slow special condition that suffers the damage, that character gains one of the following special conditions, poison root slow. So you just choose one or the other, right? If they have any of these, suffer damage. If they don't, choose one. Really good conditions, by the way. Poison root slow creeps up on a lot of people. And again, it's the whole point of this affiliation feels like you're putting out conditions, and you want to gain access to really cool things when they have conditions. Like Apocalypse, you need to have root, I think. Root and shock or slow or whatever it is, and then you get the throw. So really cool stuff. Now, at the end of this character's activation, Master of the Horseman gains 1 evolution token for each enemy character that gained 1 or more special conditions during this character's activation. So, again, there could probably be a situation where you save those Evo tokens, right? And you move within 2 of a whole bunch of characters, or whatever the case may be. You move within 2 of a whole bunch of characters, you pop it using evolution tokens, and then from there, all these characters gain the special conditions, and then from there, you gain your Evo tokens back, right? So there's like a pattern you have to follow. And have I mastered this and figured this out? No, right? I need to put it on the table. I need to figure it out. And that's what I'm saying. I think this is going to take a while for it to crack. And then once this gets cracked, I think Apocalypse is going to be very relevant in the meta, right? Perfect timing. My dog is barking. Awesome. I don't know why either. All right, so let's get to the affiliation list, because this is what I really wanted to get to today, okay? And we're going to get through it really quickly. We have a whole list, and this is officially on the Atomic Mass Games website. And from here, let's go through who is Death. Archangel Cassandra Nova, very good shout out here, who she can put out conditions too, I think, if I remember correctly. Gambit. Honey Badger, Iceman, Psylocke, Toad, and Wolverine. Give me 1 second. And this is why I'm getting a new house. If I go up, anyway. So Toad, Wolverine. Okay, this is Death, right? And Death, remember, this is the one where you get dazed or KO'd, or you do the dazing or KOing. You gain 3 evolution tokens, okay? So Honey Badger, these are the characters I look at this right away, and I'm like, they're immediately Death, right? Wolverine, Psylocke, and Honey Badger, right? Honey Badger, the reason being is, if you're constantly getting taunt off and all this other crazy stuff, not just this, she is a prime target for that Apocalypse portal, which we're going to talk about here in a second. You can get her within 1, and you can go and keep getting the taunting off. And if she dazes or KOs, well, you gain 3 evolution tokens. And gaining those 3 evolution tokens is huge, right? So I would say those are the 3 best that you can play with this right now. The others are just okay. Archangel, I need to put him on the table. I'm not. I was a fan when I first read the card. As I kept reading it, I was like, I think he's all right. You know, I don't. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Famine, Cassandra Nova, Deadpool, Gambit, Iceman, Magic, Mr. Sinister, Psylocke, and the Blob. I will say this right now. I'm a huge fan. I wasn't a fan of the Blob when I was playing Brotherhood back in the day. The more and more the game has changed and grown, I'm becoming an even bigger fan of the Blob, especially in the meta where Web Warriors around and all that. Blob can annoy the hell out of them if he can. So I would say right here, hot take right here, Blob. Let's see, Deadpool, Magic, and Psylocke, I would say, are your choices for Famine here. I think the rest are fine. It's just Gambit just sucks. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, AMG. I got to be honest. I don't like Gambit, okay? But, like, I would say these are the characters right there, like, you would just have to look at and take a look at. Mr. Sinister is another shout out here, too. Again, he's a character I think needs to get adjusted a little bit to keep up with everything. But I would go with those characters for Famine easily. Like, it's no question, I think. Deadpool is absolutely fantastic. He's one of the best 3 threats in the game. I know Exceptional Healing leaving kind of hurt him a little bit, but he's still a really damn good character. So really good stuff there. Pestilence, Archangel, Beast, Cable, and Honorable. Cable's really sick. Like, he's gotten some buffs. He's really good. He's a playable character now. Not that he was back. I mean, back in the day, it was just whatever. But now he's clearly way better now. So that's really cool for Pestilence. Colossus, who recently got buffed. I'm still a little down on Colossus. He is better than what he was before. But him being here is really cool. Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, the Blob, and Toad. This one, you have to figure it out, right? I mean, honestly, I think Cable's more of a war character. We're going to get here to war in a second. But I think Beast, Blob, maybe Toad. Maybe this is the one you play Toad in. I'm not too sure. But I think Blob, Sabretooth, and Beast. I mean, Beast is a really good character. I mean, he's got a throw, right? He's got defensive rerolls, right? He could survive a little bit. He's got a big base. He moves pretty quickly. Beast is really good. So I would say we just look at those characters there. Maybe Archangel, maybe this is a spot for Archangel to shine, right? I think it's just these, like, Death I could see, because, I mean, Archangel has that random place, and all of a sudden he just dies, and then you gain 3 tokens or whatever. I can see a world where that works, but, yeah. So anyways, let's get to War. War is crazy, all right? So we got Beast, Cable, Deadpool, is that Colossus? Yeah, Colossus, Deadpool, Honey Badger, Magic, I think that's Sabretooth and Wolverine. And this is the one where I think this is Wolverine's time to shine with Wolverine or Cable, right? I think Cable is, probably the better character between the two. Range 5 gun, has the rerolls within 3. Wolverine has to do a little bit of work to get in, right? No matter the cost is gone. So you can't just, no matter the cost, spender somebody now. So I think, in my opinion, it's between these two. And maybe try out Sabretooth. Not 100% sure. Magic's really cool. Mystic Attacker, with Web, like I said, Web Warriors being on the rise, you need a Mystic Attacker to deal with Miles and Spectacular and all the rerolls and all that stuff. So Magic's really cool here. Deadpool as well. Deadpool can kill some characters. He has a built-in reroll already, and if you combo that with the evolution tokens, right, you're going to add on to more rerolls, and maybe you can just pull off War or whatever. I think those are the 3 clearly best characters for this one here. And this is very competitive. I would say War is competitive. And what you want to do, and it just depends on what the threat level and what your situation is. So let's go into that's that, right? That's the cards. That's this. The affiliation is just really sick. This is very unique. I love the way that AMG presented this. This is really cool. Thank you for that. This is sick. Love it. How they're going to put this in the document, I don't know. But it's going to be really cool. So let's get to Apocalypse, right? And let's get to the Celestial. Let's get to the things that I love about this character. Really great, really good builder, right? 7 dice can be physical, energy, mystic. You can do a shock or root. If you have shock and root on a character, you get a throw, right? Now, fishing for wilds, just on base dice, I know 7, it can be, it's dicey, right? You should hit the wild on a higher rate, but I've just seen 7 dice attack rolls just kind of just not get you that, and I've seen games where Apocalypse just, I mean, because I've played maybe a game or two, just testing on TTS with Apocalypse a little bit, and there was just the attack rolls that just were not stellar. and you weren't getting this off. And you were doing damage, but you were never really getting this off. So I think the way to constantly get this off is you need to get the conditions on characters first through other means, right? Maybe not through this, through other means. And once you get that, once you get those conditions, then Apocalypse can go in and do what he needs to do, right? So that's just me, but this is a really good effect, right? The spender here is pretty crazy. I mean, add 2 dice to for each special condition on the target character has. If they have a million conditions on them, right? this spender can get really crazy. I mean, it doesn't do anything outside of that. And the celestial technology. Now, I think people are going to fumble this a lot, right? Because this is brand new to the game. No other character can do this during the power phase, okay? You can activate his superpower during the power phase before picking an activation. Let me say that again. You can use this before activating a character. Okay? Now, this is what I was talking about earlier with Honey Badger. You can, because Honey Badger does not gain objective tokens or anything like that, right? Because what ends up happening here is when you pick a character, they do drop their objective tokens. They don't bring it with them. So that's, that's huge, right? You're losing out on points to put characters in a better position where they were. The range is range 5. It's huge. But this is where Honey Badger excels, right? Honey Badger doesn't play the objective game. She's all about protecting you and taunting, whatever, right? So if they displace her, throw her, whatever, you can go and bring her back in and be just as annoying again, right? 4 power costs to reposition some characters and putting them in better positions is really damn good. And you can choose your activation right after that. Right, so you play this, and then you go ahead and you just choose an activation. You want to activate Apocalypse, go ahead. You want to activate Wolverine, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? So that's really cool, right? Also, there's something really cool that we talked about with some people once this affiliation document came out. You know what? I'm gonna save that for another video. I'm gonna save that for another video. We're gonna talk about some plays that you can do with the Horsemen. There's something that's really funny that you guys will like. Trust me. If someone in the comment section figures it out, if you look at the affiliation document and you think about a certain card and 2 characters, I think you'll get it. But if someone gets it in the comment section, I'll do a video on it or whatever. But I'll still do a video regardless because I think it's great. I think it's absolutely hilarious with this affiliation. Yeah, and then he is immune to bleed, incinerate, stun, right? Only the strong remain. If he gains a condition he already has, you just remove a damage, heal 1. Really cool stuff. He's pretty tanky, right? And yeah, I mean, he's really cool. I mean, he's got 7 health. He's hard to kill. If you notice, he has no action economy. Outside of doing the whole, I think it's famine, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can do the whole famine thing where you can, space gem yourself up, right? Outside of that, he has no action economy. So he can be displaced a little bit and can be controlled out of the game. I think of Thanos, right? I think of Thanos cosmic portaling him backwards turn 1, which is really strong and puts him out of position. Thanos with Mind Gem too. He could just, whatever, like Cosmic Portal, move him out of the way. Hulk can just throw him all over the place. Bill can throw him all over the place for 2 threat less. So you have to think about those things, right? Without having it outside of famine, there could be games where Apocalypse is just not doing anything. So you got to be careful. We get to the injured side, which we finally get, and he's 8 health on this side, which is really good. So he gains a health point, and he's immune to all special conditions. This is sick, right? This is absolutely sick. So he's immune to stagger. He's immune to all that crap, right? And it makes this a little bit more stronger because, hey, he just gains a power, right? If you try to hit him with a condition, especially if there's a condition that's guaranteed that you have to put on this character, well, you gain an extra power now, right? So that's really cool. Outside of that, that's all I got for now. This is just my big overview of Apocalypse. I want to do more videos on this because I think there's some unique team compositions that we could do, and I think there's potential here. I just don't think it's going to be figured out in the first month, right? I think it's going to take time. I think people have an idea how they want to play this character, especially getting the affiliation list now. Now you can go ahead and put characters in and figure it out. But I just think there's a lot going on, right? I think there's a lot you have to bookkeep. There's a lot you have to take advantage. Remember about the evolution tokens. I think this is going to take a lot of practice, right? And where he's at in the meta, I don't know, right? This is what's crazy. This is like one of the first years where we get like a character of this threat level that I don't feel like it's going to define a meta, right? Like Cosmic Ghost Rider came out, and I was like, that guy's going to be broken. Malekith came out, broken, right? Thanos has always been broken. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time I don't feel like he's broken, right? I feel like he's good. I feel like he can do some crazy stuff with the rest of the pieces, and it's going to be an interesting play style, right? And that's what intrigues me the most about this. This isn't like a cookie cutter like Affiliation. This is like something brand new. It feels fresh, right? And it feels like they put a lot of work into this, and you can see in the details and everything that's written here, they put a lot of work and time and effort into this, and they did a really good job. And it's up to us, the players, to figure out how we can make it effective going forward. And I'm willing to meet the challenge. So, anyways, guys, that's it for me. Take care. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I got to get back to work and back to packing. Just wanted to get this video out there. Hope you like, dislike, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right? Peace. Have a great day.